group that you are represent. And civil society organizations are also with the different experiences that we all have. Now, sometimes we are providing opportunity for to create a new services, to create a new approaches, and to lobby for completely new new approach, or to lobby actually for some policy changes and policy development and legislation, because we have that sometimes we have resources from the donors, and sometimes we have an insight in what are the needs of the citizens that we are served. For example, we had in Serbia one program which was connected with Center for Independent Living of Persons with Disabilities, for example. We promote through one program this personal assistance. You know that according to our law, people with disability has some kind of benefits from the Ministry of Social Affairs in like a money, because they are not able to work, so it is a kind of compensation for that. But that was the only legal option for the people with disabilities. So through this program, we actually, it was really like a strong campaign that ministry should change the legislation, and instead of this option, to involve also the option that if you are the person with disabilities, to engage the personal assistant, and that country can pay the personal assistant instead of this direct financial support to you, and that this is a legal option which can be open for the people with disabilities if they want to choose one or the other system which can suit them the better. So it was, of course, the complete like a development and philosophical story about all of this, but it was really like a strong campaign, and to promote that as a new, completely new concept which can be involved in a new legislation. Fund for social innovation also actually it was initiated from the grassroots, from the civil society organizations, especially in the area of social protection and new assistance and kind of new usluge, services. And new, they created sustainable mechanisms, but actually to develop a new kind of services within the social, because you have like a systematic way, but that was the opportunity actually to promote completely new approach to the services in the social sphere, which can be provided at the local level. So sometimes this civil society organization can be a factor who can initiate a new, some new and really important services and mechanisms. It looks me that after like 10 or 15 years of dealing with the key questions related to NGOs, the situation is completely the same. So from my position of view, if something might be wrong with the approach, or I don't know what. You know, if we, after 15 years, I am in the NGO, for example, 15 years, the same questions were raised at that point. And same questions we had like 10 years ago. What is the role of civil society organizations? What if are they independent or very dependent from the donors or from the country, and what is the relation with that? What kind of sustainable mechanisms are possible for that, and what is the role if you create that kind of sustainable mechanisms? What position of civil society organization will be? The matter of representation, the matter of you know, how to create, with whom to create mechanism for cooperation. From the position of, I'm working in the government now, and from the position, from that kind of side, it was really like a tough to develop the mechanism for cooperation with civil society, because we didn't have any idea with whom to cooperate. and how to develop to be a transparent, to be a participatory, and not to be in a position at the end that organizations who are not directly involved in the cooperation are very unhappy and then again against the whole idea and that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of questions, and it's always the same question. Do we need networks of organizations or not? You know, everybody said like, okay, create the network. And what? We have a fence here in Serbia, and what? Nothing happened, actually. So that's actually always the open question of everything. I think that the problem sometimes is that we are treating the civil society as one homogeneous category. It is very similar, like you said, like problems of youth, or youth in Serbia, or Croatia, or whatever. What that means, youth. You have so many groups, different problems, different developed, educated, etc. So it is very similar, I think, with the civil society organization, and I think that might be like a first point for discussion and for the understanding how to treat the civil society, what kind of layers to made within the civil society area, and then to try to find some kind of solution. But this is really like a broad and philosophical and everything. But the same question is always in the option. So I'm not sure that there are right answers, you know, for all of this. But for thinking, definitely we need to. When we are talking about conditions for civil participation, and when we are talking about this enabling environment, it is absolutely key that you have this rule of law. So it is not a political, and even like as you mentioned this morning, it is not diverse political views and issues and this bipolar political situation so crucial, but it is crucial to have a rule of law if you want to build actually the conditions for civil participation, and to have kind of, again, you are all aware of that, shared interest and some kind of resources and favorable legislation and political will and everything. I will not go through this. I'm completely sure that you recognize, of course, this level of participation. If we are talking about the information, this is the lowest level of participation, and the way how you can involve the people or for you to be involved. And consultation, dialogue, and partnership are as some higher and highest level of participation. And in each of these, when we are in this code of practice, code of good practice document, they are defining the steps in political decision-making processes like this, and I think that it's cover all that we mentioned this morning as a reality of our work, and this is that involvement at the level of setting the agenda, drafting, decisions, implementation, monitoring processes, and reformulation processes. So if they combine in the matrix, but you will see that in the documents, I will not present it to you now in detail, they are actually try to give some good examples and some kind of proposals how you can, on each of these level, how you can use a different level of participation to increase the participation of civil society or the organization, depending of the level where you are using this, and what will be the roles and responsibilities of NGOs and public authorities in these processes, what kind of mechanisms and tools you can actually use. This is kind of recommendations, and in Matrix it's very clear, you know, and very easy to find and to see how they propose different kind of mechanisms for that.
Well, as Jelena briefly discussed with you, steps in political decision-making processes. There are some processes, some steps that were drafted on this this model of participation with civil society involvement. Therefore, agenda setting, drafting, decision implementation, monitoring, reformulation. We will discuss this further in upcoming sessions. And so there, at the moment, we have some clues, some current understanding, and some vision statements, let's say, for 2015, where we will see, hopefully, increase in civil participation in local context, national context, but also, hopefully, regionally as well. We would like to, if any further questions you don't have in relation to this exercise, we will, for tomorrow, we will also represent every country each presentation. So then we will discuss into details everything what was written on, in this exercise, and obstacles and possible resources, similarities, we will discuss tomorrow. So we would also we would like to have a little bit discussion in relation to the context that we are talking. So local context information and civil society participation. These are now levels of participation which were drafted on this model, that you have a code of practice. I believe one of you has one. So providing regular and updated information regarding central, local policies, strategic planning, agendas, public hearings, and budget expenditure. So continuing with accessible approaches delivered by the governmental organization incorporates information office, periodic bulletins, brochures, electronic and printed media, openness on monitoring and watchdog by civil society organizations, e-government, providing accessible documents in time. So this will be also part of next upcoming sessions. But at the moment, with those in relation to the presentation that you also made for each country, we will have a little bit discussion in relation to local context. Having a discussion at what level is the environment where there is sufficient ground for sufficient information gathering in time enabled by central local authorities at your country level. If it will be briefly, because we don't have sufficient time, but at your country level. What do you think in relation to this question? So at what level is the environment where there is sufficient ground for sufficient information gathering in time enabled by central local authorities at your country level? We have a case study, but also case study we will discuss. We have also from Albania on information issue. But because of the time, then we'll just briefly present the EU Code of Practice level of citizens' participation. So as a little bit more, let's say the first level of participation was more or less one-sided, right? Where we get only information from the government, local, central. So it's not two-way participation. Now it gets to consultation in decision-making process with a consultation part is done by civil society as well. But still consultation is more like taking information, but not necessarily decisions. So consultative decision-making has as its foundation the theory that collective intelligence creates and implements better solutions than authorities alone, meaning that information, evidence is coming from civil society sector, so that helps governments to decide on different policies and administration issues. Consultative decision-making can be used in all the matters and is implicitly or explicitly related to a wide range of topics concerning citizens' participation, and consultative decision-making provides important inputs throughout participation.